Hello, everyone. Hopefully, I won't go overtime to make up for the speed we've had so far. Anyway, so I work down the Gold Coast at Playside, and predominantly I'm in the work for hire department. So basically, I like to think we make the money to keep the lights on, so everyone else can do the cool stuff. About 6 months ago, I got promoted to a position to lead a small team of engineers, about 4 people, on an unannounced live ops project. And I realized yesterday I've actually just made the slides that I wanted to read about 6 months ago. So we'll get into it. So the problem with developing for live ops is your environment is going to constantly be changing. You're not going to know exactly what you end up with in the end. This is a diagram of Netflix's system architecture. Now, I don't work on anything like this scale, but in the games world, it'd be like BattleNet sort of architecture or Riot or something like that. But Netflix didn't start out this way. They actually started out delivering DVDs, and anyone who's Gen Z in the room who didn't know that, you're welcome, I guess. They killed Blockbuster when they went to streaming. Rest in peace. So the changing environment of live ops means that your product is constantly facing bombardment from the environment, and we work in work for hire, so we also have the client to make happy. Get used to data-driven design. It's going to either ruin your code and your features, or it's going to basically be the thing that everyone is hanging on to and why you have to do anything. But basically, yeah, your live ops project is going to live for such a long time that the people that work on it in 5 years from now may be completely different to the ones that are on it now, and you're not going to be able to pass on knowledge to knowledge as a human being. So how do we make code do that for us? First, so this is basically tips that I wanted to know 6 months ago, right? So your code is replaceable. When you're building things, expect the things for the scale you're at now to be replaced in 6 months, a year, or further on. Don't make monolithic structures like 5,000 line player controllers. This one actually hits home because of my very first job at Nextworld. It was a live ops virtual training company. I remember my first day basically looking at some of the code there and going like, oh my goodness, how are we going to work with this player controller to continue to expand? Further on, make sure you don't own the code. Don't get attached to it, because the likelihood is that it's going to go in the future. And you're not going to be working on the same system for possibly the entire lifespan of these projects. Keep it simple, keep it safe. The thing I tell my engineers when I look at their PRs is it needs to be readable by a university student, because that's basically who I expect in the future might come onto the project. And I feel bad for students that come onto projects where it's just esoteric, and it's things you're not going to learn about for like 5 years into your career. And you really want those people to feel like they're making contributions within, I think, 2 weeks really of having that job, and that really helps. Yeah. Prioritize clean code over clever tricks. It's a very similar vein. Yeah, and people who you don't know or never will probably read your code in the future. Stability will keep the systems in line. Basically, when you're live ops, your game is live, and every change you make has the potential to bring it down. So we want to focus on keeping it up as the #1 priority, because features that aren't available to anyone can't be enjoyed by anyone. Much to the derision of production and design, when they say, hey, can we do this cool new feature? We think players are really going to love it. You're going to be like, yeah, but it's sort of risky. It might bring the whole game down. They don't care. Until the game does go down, and then you are the bad guy. Little architecture reviews are a really good tool that I've been using to basically preempt the changes that are coming into the project. It gives the confidence to the team that I know what they're doing, and it gives me the confidence to know that I know what they're doing. Mind the Rex, they like to change. When you're live, it's a swirl of things coming at you. Your code needs to prioritize being flexible and make sure you're using abstraction effectively and making it modular. And don't be afraid to rewrite core systems if you're expanding to a point you need to. The code that helped Netflix ship their DVDs isn't going to help them get the streams onto your computer. And also, you will come to hate analytics because this is what's going to drive your features and your development going forward. I recently just got a spec for the analytics that we have for our currently game. It's soon to go live, and I was like, this is a whole feature in itself just to get these in. So, and I know that if I put it in, I'm going to hear about how players are interacting with them in the future. Yeah, so that's it. The takeaways here are expect the change because it's going to happen, embrace modularity, prioritize readability, maintainability, and ship the DVD today, worry about streaming later because your game has to be successful now to even make it there.